I was only a few days into my first fundraising job when a friend came to me and asked if he could get some of our appeal letters and copy them. I went to my boss. I was just a kid in my 20s. Sorry if some of you are in your 20s, but I mean, you know, when you get my age, you can say things like that and get by with it. So I went to my boss and asked him what I should do. He simply said, and here's the quote, "You tell your friend that everything we have is copyrighted, and he better copy it right." I was blown away. I mean, I thought, you know, copying our stuff? Well, I put that quote up on the screen so you can copy it right. This needs to be one of the most important principles in our industry. That was a huge breakthrough for us at that time in World Vision, to learn the importance of copying it right. When I started in this business, every appeal letter began with "Dear friend." There was an address sticker on the envelope. Some of you might remember that drill. Well, one day our data processing guy came to me. Yes, we call it data processing. And he showed me a computer-produced letter from a car dealer. He said, "Bill, I think we can copy this approach. We have all the technical stuff to copy this letter." Well, I wrote that first computer-produced letter for World Vision. I remember it clearly. All we did was personalize the opening, "Dear Mrs. Jones," Mrs. Smith, whatever. And our response doubled. Trust me, it wasn't my writing. Of course, it was the person's name up front. But my point is, that was a bold breakthrough. Why did that happen? Another very important concept here, because our computer guy knew we weren't risk averse, we were into growth, and we wanted to copy what was working out there in the business world. So your leadership attitude is fundamental to your organizational success. You've got to let your people know that you are open to their ideas. Then the tenacious tweaking began with that direct mail process. We started including the amount of the donor's latest gift, the person's interest, and on and on. Those same principles apply to all channels today, and you use them. You know about all this. Well, a couple of years later from that mail experience, my good friend Russ Reed, yep, there is a Russ Reed, he came to us with an idea. He said, "What if we did a TV show and asked people to support us?" I remember our president in that bold meeting said to Russ, "Russ, what will happen if it bombs?" Without batting an eye, Russ said, "You will have the most expensive church film ever produced." Well, the rest is history. I traveled with Art Linkletter to Korea, Hong Kong, and Vietnam, held his cue cards, and we filmed our first TV show called Children of Zero. Some of you are old enough to recognize the name Art Linkletter, and some of you are not. I understand that. Well, he was the Ryan Seacrest or whatever of his time. Well, that major breakthrough got us into TV and revolutionized our fundraising efforts. It changed everything. I'm telling you, it changed everything at World Vision. And as a fundraising leader, you must not be risk averse. We took a risk. That was a huge risk. But we did know that others were doing it through commercial enterprises and whatnot. I still remember our first call-in TV show. Up until then, people had to write in with their donations. I still remember it. Box O, Pasadena, California. That's all they had to put on their letter, and it got to us. Well, we set up 50 phones with the operators backstage at a TV station in LA. You bet I was nervous. Would anybody call? 5 minutes into the show, the number went up on the screen and bam, 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 just like that. All 50 red lights went on all 50 phones, and we were in business with another breakthrough. I was so happy. The key was making it easy for viewers to respond instantly, and today they are still calling, and they're writing, and going online. The channels are more diverse, the metrics are different, but the methodology is exactly the same. Here it is. Try, test, test again, roll out, and retest. Right? When I joined World Vision, we had 18,000 child sponsors, $4 million annual revenue, and today we have at World Vision more than 5 million children sponsored all over the world, and almost $3 billion, that's a B, billion dollars in global annual donations. Why did that happen? Because of people like you. Hear me, you guys. It happened. Yes, we have great program and great stuff going out there. You have to have that to have integrity. But it never would have happened without the marketing expertise and the tenacious work of people like you. Our strong advertising created a global awareness which has been more effective than any PR campaign. Our donors were now expecting us to be there when disaster hit, and we had no emergency response capability. So with little preparation, way before dotting every I and crossing every T, I found myself on a plane responding to a huge earthquake in Mexico City. And by the way, when I saw that slide as we were preparing, I thought, that's amazing. That's it. I remember standing there and seeing that building or a building just like that. And it brought back, of course, all those, in a way, horrible memories. We didn't have anybody on the ground, so we partnered. Very important principle here, by the way. So we partnered with a local Mexican organization, raised money here in the U.S., sent it to them, and the rest is history. Launching an effective emergency response mission created one of the biggest growth spurts in the history of World Vision.